Yo, what's good, YouTube? Zamco here, aka Scoop, back with the APA Little Cup Tour, and we've got our 3 pool play games today. Um, our first match was up against It's Whatever, aka Active User, who he actually had first pick in his draft pool, and he was able to grab Ponyta, Dupiter, Dwebble, Mankey, Jangmo-O, Zubat, Tello, Flabibi, Sandshrew, I about to say Shrew and Glameow. So pretty threatening squad. Ponyta gets things like high horsepower, flare blitz, flame charge. Um, Flame charge. I think he gets some kind of like Bloom Doom set. But yeah, Ponyta is really powerful. It gets Morning Sun and Flame Body, so it could be problematic in that regard as well. Um, he's got Dupiter, which can set up sticky webs, which I have a anti sticky webs lead in Onyx, which I'll show off in a minute, um, or I'll talk about in a minute. He's got Dwebble, which can be a hazard stack option with spikes, stealth rock, knockoff, um, and just be problematic like that. Or it could be an offensive variant with Shell Smash, which could be problematic. He's got a Mankey, which he didn't bring. He didn't bring the Dwebble or the Mankey. He's got the Jangmo-O. If you don't know what Mankey does, go back and check my draft recap and listen to what I say about my own Mankey, which I don't bring either. So neither of us bring Mankey. He's also got a Zubat that he didn't bring. It's basically Golbat, Crobat, etc. He's got a Tello that he did bring, which is very, very scary. He's got Flabibi, no Sandshrew or Glameow. So the team that he brings, well, he does have the Glameow, excuse me. And the team that he brings looks pretty scary. Looks like he can set up stealth rocks and sticky webs, and then just go ham with things like Ponyta, Glameow, and Swellow, the Tello. So yeah, pretty scary team. But we have a pretty scary team ourselves. We have uh, we have Abra here, which if you look at my opponent's team, he has no psychic resist, which is insane. Like I mentioned, his entire roster earlier, he has no psychic resist. So I'm freely able to spam psychic. He's I guess he's kind of got hazard removal if he's got like defog Tello or like defog Zubat or Sandshrew, but he didn't bring those except for the Tello. So if he does have defog Tello, that means it might not be specs. It might be specs defog. You never know, but more than likely not. So um, we've also got with Abra protect, substitute, psychic, and calm mind. Since he was a mono. Or since he didn't have anything to resist psychic, I was able to bring mono psychic Abra with substitute, calm mind, and protect. I got protect there just to scout for certain sets on his part, and it also prevents me from being faked out from things like Glemeow or things like that. So yeah, just a really solid bring in this matchup in my opinion. I think we can put in the work. It does. It's probably not going to click protect and then sub calm mind up. It's more than likely either going to sub up and start clicking attacks, or it's going to calm mind up and start clicking attacks. More than likely not going to do both. So next up we've got Onyx, which is a Rock Blast variant. It has Rock Blast, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, and I think Explosion. I think Explosion is my last move on there. Sorry, my throat's hurting a little bit today. I don't know why. I haven't had problems from it in quite some time, which I'm thankful for. But today my throat's hurting just a little bit. I may be catching an illness. I'm not real sure. But nonetheless, Onyx has Rock Blast. So if he leads Dupiter, and I am obviously going to lead my Onyx, I'm just going to click Rock Blast and hope that I'll land. And if I land, I hope I at least get maybe two hits will do it. But hopefully, if I can get 3 hits on it. and knock it out. That would be best case scenario for the lead option there. And yeah, that would be a solid beginning to the match to prevent webs. But as you can see, my next two Pokemon, Corphish and Meowth, if he does manage to get webs up, I do have quite a bit of priority on the team. So it's not that big of an issue. I guess it could be problematic if I didn't bring, Aqua Jet, Faint, and Fake Out. But I do, so really solid, or really happy that I did bring it, since he does bring the Dewpider. I didn't know for sure if he would bring the Dewpider, but yeah, he definitely does, and it's pretty scary. So yeah, next up, Corphish. We've got Swords Dance, Waterfall, Knockoff, and Aqua Jet. Adamant. With the Splash Plate, it does massive amounts of damage, and after Shell Smash, it knocks out the Dwebble, unless it's like a White Herb. But then, even then, it does a lot of damage, and I could potentially avoid a 2-hit KO from that thing, or an Oko after a Shell Smash. Meowth is a Silk Scarf variant with the Technician ability, Jolly Nature, so that we can outpace and outpace a lot of his team and speed tie with the Ponyta. We've got the Fake Out, Faint, Double Edge, and the Aerial Ace. I brought Aerial Ace because I thought it would hit the Dewpider pretty hard. I could Fake Out and then knock it out with Aerial Ace. But turns out Double Edge does more damage, which is pretty cool actually. And we've got Ozreal here, which is an Eviolite variant. It's a dedicated check to Ponyta with the thick fat. It has Encore, Toxic, Knockoff, and Frustration, Impish Nature, mixed def, mixed defense with a little bit of HP investment. It's my best check to Ponyta, period. Like I said, I could switch Onyx in on it, but it could click Flame Charge and then go for like a Bloom Doom or a Tectonic Rage. I could bring like a weak armor Onyx, and if you don't know, your defense gets dropped by 1, your speed gets multiplied by 2. But he's got ways around that himself, like Sandshrew, Jangmo-O. So I didn't really want to bring that. And last but not least, we have Yamask here, which is an Eviolite variant with Trick Room, Shadow Ball, Hidden Power, Fighting, and Calm Mind. So yeah, we can go ahead and hop into the battle here. I'm going to lead Onyx, like I mentioned, and he leads the Dewpider. So this is exactly what I wanted. I'm just going to click the Rock Blast here and hope that I'll land and knock him out and prevent him from getting sticky webs up. So I'm going to do just that. And he switches out to his Jangmo-O. As you can see there, I do get 3 hits, and it did quite a bit of damage. And I did some calcs. That was a base 75, basically a base 75 rock type move. And I felt like, as much damage as it did, a little over 40%, I felt like Earthquake being 25 point base power stronger, I felt like I could knock him out here. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake knockout here. And I miss out barely. And he reveals the low kick. A little bit problematic there. However, he switches out to his Tello here as I set up my Stealth Rocks. And I disagree with this play full-heartedly, because his Jangmo-O was so slow, so low, that had I clicked Rock Blast, I would have knocked him out. And switching in Tello on a potential Rock Blast, that's just insane to me. I don't know if he was predicting Earthquake or what, but that's just insane to me. Onyx is really, really weakened now, and it is my Tello check, so no reason to save this thing at this point. I'm just going to see what he goes for here. He goes for the Boom Burst, knocks me out, and what I can do is just go into Meowth, click the Fake Out into Faint, and knock him out. He decides to sack off his Jangmo-O here, which is fine, no big deal. He goes into his Dewpider here, and I'm going to click that Double Edge, and going to be able to knock him out here as he does get up his sticky webs. So a little bit unfortunate that he gets his webs up here, but I am able to get rid of this thing. And I do have Trick Room in the back. So that's something to think about. But yeah, he goes into his ponytail finally, and I'm gonna hard switch into my Ozeril here. I tank the Z high horsepower. I tank his flame charge, his flamethrower, all of his moves basically, and I'm able to 1v1 this ponytail pretty easily. And yeah, that's pretty nice right there. So he brings in his Tello. Ozeral's done its job. No reason to keep it. I can go back into Meowth, click the fake out. It doesn't knock him out, and he's probably thinking, he probably knew it didn't knock him out and thinks that he can knock me out now. But I do pack the feint, so I'm going to be able to knock him out, and he's going to go into his Glameow here. I wasn't sure what this thing wanted to do, but I'm just going to go out to Yamask. It doesn't serve a true purpose at this point. So what I'm going to do is just try to get chip damage off on things. And he switches out here. And you're going to watch the most boneheaded plays of my career, potentially, where I just set up Calm Minds throughout my Trick Rooms turns, and I'm left with no Trick Room turns, and he's able to outspeed me and knock me out here at the end of it. So I basically got no damage off, but got 3 Calm Minds up. So here you can see Abra still faster than Flabébé, even after Sticky Webs, and Psychic is a 2-hit KO. It also one-shots the Glameow, so that's nice. I could potentially set up a sub here, or go for a Calm Mind on one of his wishes or his protects. But I felt the best plays were to just keep clicking Psychic. No real reason not to. In my opinion, I felt like I could just keep doing this over and over and over, and eventually come out on top. I'm going to protect here, and that may have been a misplay had he went for sub or something. I didn't expect sub on it. I felt like he needed coverage, fake out, and then 3 attacks. I'm going to go into Meowth here, click that fake out, and then go for the feint. Once again, able to knock out this thing and get the nice 2-0 victory in our first match. So really solid there. Meowth picks up 4 kills. 4 kills, my goodness. But yeah, that was game 1 of the pool play, and we'll be right back with game 2. Here we are with game 2. My opponent has drafted, he had the 9th pick in his pool, by the way, and he drafted Snivy, Jobble, Cranidos, Pikipek, Squirtle, Gulpin, Alolan Meowth, Riolu, Aron, and Bunnery. So pretty cool squad. Nice and snivy there, so that thing gets defog and like spams Leaf Storm, which is pretty cool. And sorry for saying and a lot. I feel like I've said it a whole lot in this video. So my opponent's got some pretty scary things. He's got Stealth Rock potential. He's got Rapid Spin and defog support. He's got potential. He's got a lot of Choice Scarf potentials, and he's got Meowth from Alola. So yeah, that's pretty scary. We've got Magic Guard Abra with the Focus Sash this week, or this battle. I'll probably say week battle. A lot of different things because I'm just so used to regular leagues. But we've got Protect here to scout for fake out, scout for potential Choice Scarf Pikipek, if it locks itself into Brave Bird, I can go into Onyx. If it locks itself into Seed, Bullet Seed, predicting Onyx, it does get skill link. Then I can switch into Badoo or Yamask, and just scout and switch accordingly with Protect. Psychic and Hidden Power Fighting is the only coverage I needed. Another team with no Psychic resist outside of Alolan Meowth and Aron, which are bopped by Hidden Power Fighting, especially after a Calm Mind. It's really a no-brainer to bring this sort of Abra. Next up, we have a Berry Juice Onyx with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Taunt. Taunt prevents my opponent's Stealth Rockers from setting up Stealth Rocks, allows me to get up South Rocks, and is able to 2-hit KO a lot of things with Earthquake itself. And we have a Life Orb Meowth with Fake Out, Double Edge, Icy Wind, and Hidden Power Fighting. We didn't need the extra priority this week with Feint, because we outspeed almost his entire team. No, we outspeed his entire team, excluding Choice Scarf users, with just Jolly max speed. We're actually running Naive though, so that Icy Wind and Hidden Power Fighting can hit as hard as possible. Icy Wind's there for the Jobble, can potentially Oko, always 2-hit KOs, and Hidden Power Fighting after a Fake Out knocks out the Aeron in one shot. So that's pretty nice. We have a Choice Scarf Mankey with U-Turn, Close Combat, Earthquake, and Reversal. His only switch in to fighting type attacks is Gulpin, which he didn't bring, but I did have the Earthquake to catch that on the switch in. Also pack U-Turn so that I can catch Momentum, can be able to U-turn into Onyx and throw off an Earthquake, or into Abra, throw off a Psychic, or potentially even Calm Mind up. But yeah, that's it for Mankey there. Actually, not it for Mankey. I can come in on Stealth Rock quite a bit, maybe take a little bit of damage from something that's not super duper strong. And I could be really low HP, and I could potentially Reversal Sweep, which is the idea behind bringing Reversal. I didn't need any other coverage, and then a lot of my tech moves were not an option in a Choice Scarf variant, so I decided to bring Reversal instead. Next up, we've got Badoo, which is an Violet variant. This thing checks Squirtle, it checks Snivy 100%. That's the reason I brought Snivy, or the reason I brought Badoo is because of Snivy. I can always switch in on this. Can set up Spikes, Giga Drain, and Venoshock. You'll see later that I do have Toxic Spikes on Yamask, which makes Venoshock a base 120 poison type move. And I'm basically max Spadef, but I don't have any HP investment. I have quite a bit of speed investment and a little bit of defense investment with Synthesis, so I can take hits from Alolan Meowth as well. And last but not least, we have Yamask, not Yamask, I meant Alolan Meowth, for the defensive EVs in my Badoo. But yeah, last but not least, we have Yamask here, which is a Violet variant with nearly max defense, max HP, a little bit of Spadef. We've got Toxic Spikes, Hex, Hidden Power Fighting, and Pain Split. So yeah, that's the team. The idea is to hazard stack, and then let Abra, Meowth, and Mankey just do their dirty work. So we're gonna lead off with Meowth here. The reason being is because we can Fake Out Aaron and then hit the Hidden Power Fighting, knock it out. We can also click Fake Out versus the remaining of his team as well. So let's see what he wants to do here. He hard switches into Squirtle on the Fake Out. Takes 25%, so that's not bad damage there, but I can't knock him out with any one hit right there. So I'm going to hard switch into my Badoo and set up a layer of Spikes. And since he's already got this thing in, I'm just going to set up all 3 layers of my Spikes there. As he goes for the Heavy Slam, almost knocks me out. I switch into Yamask, and I take the Earthquake pretty comfortably. And what I'm going to do here is set up a layer of Toxic Spikes. He can't spin with Squirtle, so I'm not sure why he hard switched it in. But I am almost going to knock it out there with the Hex. He's going to hard switch out into the Alolan Persian, which takes a lot, almost half from Hex, but he reveals the Berry Juice, and he's able to get almost all of his health back. Well, he does get all of his health back, but poison damage takes a little bit back, so that's really nice. I don't want him to be able to spin later, so I'm going to keep Yamask around and sack off Badoo there as he reveals the knockoff. So now I'm going to go into Mankey. I'm going to click Close Combat, reveal that I'm Choice Scarf, knock this thing out. He brings in the Squirtle, and I'm just going to click Close Combat again. I'm guaranteed faster. And Mankey picks up a nice 2 knockouts there. He goes into Snivy, and I don't know the roll here. I don't know if I even calced it, but I didn't see a reason to risk it here when this thing can potentially clean up late game. So I'm going to save Mankey and hard switch out into my Yamask, sack this thing off. And what I can do after is go into Meowth and just click that fake out. Fake out in conjunction with the poison damage should knock him out. And it does. So that's really nice. And he goes straight into his Picky Peck here. I'm going to hard switch into Onyx as he goes for the Boom Burst. And he reveals to not be Choice Scarf. He goes straight for the Bullet Seed. Pops my Berry Juice, but it's just too powerful. And he's able to knock me out there. And what I can do is go into Meowth here, click that fake out. But he hard switches into the Cranidos, which is pretty scary to be honest. But if he's Choice Scarf, Mankey wins anyway. And I'm just going to go hard into Abra here. And if he's not Choice Scarf, I'll knock him out here with Psychic. And he is not Choice Scarf. So easily able to knock him out there. He goes into the Aaron here. I'm going to reveal Hidden Power Fighting. Knock this thing out. And now he brings in the Picky Peck, which revealed to not be Choice Scarf earlier. And we're able to knock it out as well. So a nice 3-0 victory. Abra putting in the work. Mankey putting in the work. And Meowth forcing a lot of that work. Especially with the Hazard State. Really, really nice match there. And I don't think I mentioned it, but good game to Active User, aka It's Whatever. Also good game to Chomp G, aka Garchomp the God. So yeah, that's going to be it for game 2 of Pool Play. And we'll be right back with game 3. Okay, so here we are with game 3 versus I'm Mr. Flubadub, aka Salazzle Slathering, excuse me. And he's got a pretty scary squad. He's got Vullaby, Bronzor, Baltoy. So at first look, you would think Abra is worthless. But after some calcs, Life Orb Abra really does put in the work. Just got to scout his movesets, chip things down a little bit, and then let Abra go ham. He's got Vullaby, Bronzor, Cottonee, Voltorb, Baltoy, and Skrelp, all of which he brings. He also has Bidoof, Litten, Dratini, and Shuppet, which he does not bring. So we've got a Life Orb Abra, Modest Nature, with Psychic, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, and Substitute. We've got Onyx with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Rock Slide, and Brutal Swing with the Darkinium Z. So what this allows us to do is bop Bronzor or Baltoy. And Rock Slide does a lot to Vullaby, Earthquake, obviously there for a non-levitate Bronzor and Voltorb, and just spammable stab. We have a Life Orb, Adamant, Fake Out, Feint, Thief, Work Up, Meowth. So nice little set there. Technician boosted. All my moves are Technician boosted. Got the Work Up, we're Adamant Nature, Max Attack. Puts in the work really, and can steal Bronzor's item. And dual Fake Out's really nice versus things like Voltorb and Vullaby. Something that could have weak armor and its defense get lowered or something like that. We have Bidoof with, I think, the Violet, Natural Cure ability, Modest Nature, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Shadow Ball, and Synthesis. We are 3 attacks, Synthesis, because we're kind of a lure set, so that we can bring in the Bronzor on a Giga Drain or Sludge Bomb and bop it with the Shadow Ball, so that it will be O-Code or 2-hit KO'd by Abra Shadow Ball. And we have Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain just as normal. Stab coverage, things like that. We have a Silk Scarf, Rivalry, Litleo with Hyper Voice and Flamethrower. So Vullaby's guaranteed to be a female. So we brought a female Litleo so that our Silk Scarf, Hyper Voice are actually boosted even more by our Rivalry ability. Since we're both females, my attacks will do 1.2 times more to Vullaby than it will any other Pokemon, unless it's also female. Which on his screen you can see only 1 female, 3 no genders, and 2 males. So it's only going to work versus Vullaby We have Hyper Voice, Flamethrower, Taunt, and we've got Yawn. What Yawn allows us to do is his switch in to Litleo. It's either going to be put to sleep or it's going to have to switch out again. So that's really nice. And last but not least, we have Yamask with the Violet once again. Toxic Spikes, Haze, Knockoff, and Memento. Basically get rid of items, prevent setup, and then kill ourselves to lower its, special attack and attack. Bring in something else, maybe Meowth to set up, or Abra to just start firing off attacks. But yeah, that's the general idea behind the team. And Volbee's a tough mon to prep for. You never know what it's going to do. So many different things it can do. We're going to lead off Onyx. We can taunt here. We can set up Stealth Rocks. In his eyes, that's what we can do. We actually don't have taunt, but we do have Brutal Swing and the Darkinium Z. So we're going to set up our Stealth Rocks first. And he decides to set up his Stealth Rocks. So maybe he's Mental Herb or something, because there's no reason for him to try to get rocks up, knowing that I could potentially be taunt, unless he just didn't expect it or doesn't know that this thing gets taunt. Excuse me. So here I'm going to fire off the Z move, see how much damage I can do to this dang thing. 83 is a super comfortable amount to me. I'm going to go for the Brutal Swing again to knock this thing out. But he switches out into his Cottonee. Pretty expected there. He goes for the Encore to keep me locked into the Brutal Swing. I'll switch out to my Badoo, fire off a Sludge Bomb. I get a critical hit, but it doesn't matter because he can roost it off. And I'm forced to switch out because Brave Bird knocks me out. He U-turns out on my Onyx switch in. Goes into his Baltoy, which takes no damage from Rock Slide. It's not going to take much damage from Brutal Swing either, and he can Rapid Spin away. So I'm going to prevent the Rapid Spin by going into Yamask. He decides to set up the Trick Room, in which I'm slower than him. I'm able to knock off his item. He goes for the Psychic. I'm going to be able to knock him out before he's able to knock me out. But he decides to switch out to his Cottonee, which is perfectly fine. I can Memento here and see what he wants to do as he goes for the Giga Drain. Now I'm going to go hard into my Abra as he clicks Protect. Now, had I clicked Substitute here, I would be in a phenomenal position. But I'm actually going to click Substitute on the following turn, predicting him to switch out, since his attack and special attack was lowered because of the Memento. But yeah, I'm behind the sub now, and he brings in his Bronzor, which is actually a Cassib Berry. So it wasn't Mental Herb or anything like that, but popping that means that I can either knock it out with Badoo or knock it out with Abra later. And I'm going to hard switch into Badoo here. It's most expendable, I think. But since he goes into his Volbeat, there's no reason to just drop it off yet. Now Onyx becomes most expendable. He hard switches out into his Baltoy, sacks that thing off to Stealth Rocks as I go for the Brutal Swing. And now he goes into his Voltorb. I have no reason to keep Onyx. He can't check anything, so might as well let it die here. And I go into Litleo. The reason I go into Litleo is because he revealed Trick Room on Baltoy, which means he could be Trick Room Bronzor as well. And I don't want that. I don't want that thing coming in and setting up a Trick Room on my Badoo, allowing Skrelp to put in work. Potentially. So I go into Litleo here. I can guarantee live in one hit and do a lot of damage to Voltorb. Potentially knock it out with Silk Scarf Hyper Voice. But he goes for the Discharge and he gets a critical hit. He doesn't even have Thunderbolt. He's got Discharge, which is weaker, and I guarantee he lived that. But he gets the critical hit. He's able to knock me out. I'm forced to go into Meowth here and click Fake Out into Feint, which will knock him out. He's not Berry Juice on Volbeat, so that's really solid. And I'm able to knock him out with the Feint there. So Meowth coming through. He brings back into Voltorb. And Feint won't knock him out from there. So I'm going to hard switch into Badoo. That's really all I can do at this point. But he goes back. He just Volt switches out to his Bronzor. Exactly what I didn't want to happen. excuse me, he's able to get a Trick Room up and goes for Reflect as I synthesis up. Basically, I'm synthesising up 2 waste Trick Room turns. I guarantee to leave anyone hit right here, so I can just Giga Drain here and then synthesis up on the following turn. Waste those Reflect turns. I actually outspeed him outside of Trick Room, so Giga Drain knocks him out there. And Badoo's looking like it can just win. He can't knock me out here. Giga Drain into Shadow Ball knocks this thing out. And he should not be able to knock out Badoo with Voltorb. However, he did reveal Discharge, so it's likely he does get a para. He does, and I get fully parried on the first turn. He goes for it again. I get the Giga Drain off. Does not kill him, and his Berry Juice pops. I couldn't get unluckier in this match. I get fully paralyzed again. And then he gets a high roll on the Discharge, knocks me out. And I'm going to go for the Fake Out into Feint, which will knock him out. And I actually get a crit, so I didn't have to go for Feint, so it's 36 turns instead of 37. A little bit unfortunate for me that match, but we are able to come out with a victory nonetheless. We finish up pool play 3-0, which puts us in the 11th seed in the bracket. So that's pretty cool. We didn't take into account differential, so we are 11th seed instead of anything higher. But yeah, that's going to be it. Good game to Mr. Flubadub, and good game to all my other opponents in the pool play. Good luck to all my opponents. Well, not good luck, but have fun to all my opponents in the bracket play. That being said, let me know what you thought about these 3 battles. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.